So this is going to be a little bit more unscripted than normal. I've quite literally averaged 2 hours of sleep the last several days. Not only is my schoolwork starting to crush me again, one of my pets has recently got sick. So I've been spending almost a majority of my time taking care of her. But that aside, because I'm not looking for sob stories or anything. For news, nothing on the major mods has happened this week. Basically haven't been doing anything mod related really. We did get some work done on some of the single blocks mods. The wooden shears mod was finally released. I didn't really want to release it, but it's one of the makers of Sky Factory 3 requested the mod, so we just pushed out the door. We also added features to the wooden bucket mod at his request as well. The wooden bucket mod now has an optional feature which is disabled by default to allow bucket leaking. It's not fully tested yet. When it's tested, you'll see that build up on Curse. It might be the end of this week or something. Essentially, it's a random generated number that the bucket leaks. When it leaks, it's also a random value on how much will leak out of the bucket. By default, it's set to 1, and the chance is also like 3% leakage. If it's a molten fluid and it leaks, it will catch the area on fire. That's also percentage chance based and can be modified and disabled in the configs. All those previous things I mentioned can be disabled in the configs. I'm going to be working on some more effects with it here as well. There's also, if any modder actually wants to mess with it, there's already built-in event hooks for everything. So say Ender IO fluid leaks or something, or say thermal expansions, Ender fluid leaks, you can say teleport the player or something. I don't really care what happens. The code is there. I'm not going to code it myself for the moment because I'm only really looking at handling certain types of fluids. I've only had to add support for 2 mods so far because the way they handled things was not on par with vanilla, so that had to be dealt with. As well, we have a new mod called Magic Mirror. This was made by request of one of our users in Discord called Kodos. The mod works exactly how it sounds. You have a mirror. When you use it, it takes you back up to the surface of the world. Now, it doesn't just find the block above you and teleport you there. That would be pretty nubbish. And you don't right-click to set the location either. That's been done 1.5 million times. What it does is it records the first location in which you enter an underground area after you've been walking around for some time. This way, if you go into a dungeon and you clear the dungeon, you get down into the back, you can click the mirror and it'll take you right back to the entrance of the dungeon. That's how it's supposed to work. Right now it's looking good. There's plans for additional features for it. There's supposed to be 3 tiers of mirrors. Right now the only mirror that really works is the silver mirror. The gold and the diamond mirror are going to have features like being able to set your home location, being able to teleport back to your home location, returning from hell back to the same portal you entered. So it'll essentially work as a minor nether portal fix. I might port the code over here later to fix that as well. Outside of that, nothing else is going on. Some of the game development stuff we've been working on is just sluggishly slowed out. I don't know if I mentioned this last video, I'm no longer working on the Space Truckers project. Not that I really did anything major to start with. I was more part of the support team than I was of the development team at the time. Still haven't heard back anything on that, whether or not I'm going to be let back in the project. I've pretty much been just letting the main developer do his own thing, and if he ever actually cares to come bug me, he can come find me. He knows where I'm at. For the games that our group has been working on ourselves, we just got into the beta for the Unity collaboration thing. We're going to start using that. We started using the build server and analytics software now. So some development might get done on a few games. I might have a demo here maybe next year, beginning next year, sometime to show you guys. That also depends on what goes on. Of course, I've got a lot of schoolwork to take care of over the next 13 weeks is how much time I get left of those classes. And those projects are not looking easy, even though I've taken one of these courses before and failed it. Although the reason I failed had nothing to do with my ability to do the class. Life hit me like a sack of bricks, and I got 3 heavy writing classes and 1 calculus-driven class all at the same time, and just physically ran out of the amount of time I could do stuff per day. And everything kind of crapped on itself. But yeah, that should work itself out though. Oh, in other news, Forge just got an update that is everybody's been talking about. At least they should be talking about. I believe this is the bookmark link. I've been on this a couple times. So Lex Minos finally, I don't know if he caved or what happened. I don't know the full story behind it. I probably should go find out one of these days, just because it's interesting to know the story of what developers think about. But there's essentially an energy system in Forge now. Now, before anybody says, "Hey, we've got our new replacement for Resonant Flux, and everybody's going to have the same energy system and everything," that's not what this is for. Get that thought completely out of your mind. Lex and CPW have both said this, and they've emphasized this heavily. This is not a framework. This is not a mandatory system. This is not anything. This is the foundation of a commonality for everybody to use. And by a commonality, it's the minimum implementation required for any system that is going to store energy. It's integer-based, and it's pretty simplistic. It uses the capability system, which I just learned about recently. Very powerful system. Me and Cal Clavier over the last several Minecraft versions have had something similar to this. I personally stopped using it because it has some weird flaws with it, but the capability system I think has solved those flaws that I had with my version. And it's nice. I mean, you can say a tile has any capability. In this case, they've got it set up to automatically start using the energy storage capability. They've also got an ASM injector. I just finished working on an ASM injector, which was a port of Cal Clavier's one in Universal Electricity. Works about the same way. You've got a template class, and you just inject code straight into tiles and stuff. And it's really cool. It works out really well. But onto the energy stuff itself, they've got a prefab. I don't really approve of the implementation of the prefab because it provides a max receive and max extract. This is a really big flaw that I've had with Resonant Flux API stuff. Very commonly you'll run into stuff that'll use this. Now it's cool if you're just connecting from one machine to another and you want to limit to how much power goes in and out. It's really bad if you want to do anything else. Like if I want to reset the energy value on a machine, I can't. I have to literally edit this value manually, which requires reflection or ASM and all kinds of little dirty tricks to get it to work. Or I have to cycle this call over and over and over and over again until the battery drains. I actually have code for both inside of VoltSyngeon, and it's ugly as hell to get to work. Hence why I've got a reflection solution, and I've also got a direct handler just for thermal expansion. And we're not talking about this API for the actual thermal expansion code that actually bypasses everything and fixes it. But as for the API itself here, which is Lex implemented, once again, minimum implementation. It's got a receive call, extract call, energy stored, max energy stored. These two calls theoretically may be going away. There's been talks about getting rid of them because there's no need for them. If your tile doesn't want to receive or extract energy on a side, it does not return the capability object for it. You would make a capability object with energy storage, of course. And then if you don't want to extract or receive energy on either one of these, you could return, say, 0 or -1 or something. I am trying to get them to replace this with get max extract and get max receive as a way of keeping this method, but at the same time providing access to these two fields here, because these exist, but there's no way to determine what these are without, of course, checking to see if something extends this. If something extends this, then I can, of course, access these, but that's a whole other thing. And before anybody says another thing, when you're using this does not mean that everybody's stuff is all using energy. Lex actually gives an example out here, if I can find it, that anybody can extend this. For example, Thaumcraft Mana. And this does not require that Thaumcraft Mana is now compatible with IC2, because what you can do down here is that Thaumcraft Mana can look for any capabilities that is using, say, instead of this being Redstone, this would be Thaumcraft Mana capability, data object or whatever. And then you would only get energy handlers that handle mana. In the same respect, you can grab only energy handles that handle RF or IC2, or in my case, UE energy is what I use. Mechanisms, watts as well. I think they use watts. I haven't messed with their stuff in a while. Or you can just ignore everything and grab any energy handler you want. There's going to be a problem probably with this, though, is that the ratio between mods is not going to be even if you use the raw energy value. I personally am just going to keep my same energy converted handler now that I've always had, just because I would get a little smoother transition between mods if I have my own ratios. And then theoretically, mods will make their own ratios for what they consider are um, forge units is what I think they're calling it. Outside this though, and there's nothing else really going on. This didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've only received maybe about 24 harassing emails saying I need to update and utilize this, which is about my average anyways. I usually get about 30 emails a week of people just saying mean and nasty stuff. It's part of the job. I ignore everybody to start with anyways. If you email me and you're not going through the proper channels, I usually block your email address anyways. I don't even read half the emails I get sent. If you got a bug report or suggestion, it needs to go on GitHub, even if it's a hostile suggestion like I need to update, it goes on GitHub. I'll read it there and I'll comment there. If it goes to my email, I'm going to delete the email and I'm going to block the email contact on my email list. But yeah. What else we got here before I close this out? That's about it. Although, I am recruiting people for Mechwarrior. We, or at least a couple of people in the clan I'm in, have got the idea we want to start doing community warfare more often, if people are familiar with that in the Mechwarrior universe. So we need people. We're willing to sort of train people. We are looking for people that actually do know how to play the game. So that way we don't have to tell you like how to go forward, how to shoot a gun, how to fit a mech. We're not going to take that much time to train you. You can learn that from tutorials and playing the game. However, we are looking for people that potentially know how to play the game, can do half decent. We're not looking for perfect here. The unit is a casual unit, so we are looking for people that are willing to talk and just kind of enjoy time. The unit is HGD, which is Halstavian. I forget the last two letters. Something division. I can actually pop up. Yeah, I'll pop the game up open real quick. I'll get you the guys some information here. If you guys want to apply, just try to hunt down one of the members and ask them to invite you. I don't have invite powers because I'm only a sergeant inside the unit. You'll have to go find somebody who's got higher power than me, but they are looking for people. It is a casual laid-back group. Let's see. Loading. Come on. Once again, this is unscripted, so one of these days we will actually script these news articles and start actually video editing. Although my license for my video editing software ran out again, so I gotta go find money to pay for it, which is gonna probably take me a while, cause yeah, bills suck. But here we go. Okay, Headhunter's Regimental Combat Unit is basically what it is. HHGD. So you can come find this unit. You can apply or whatever. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure it's invite only process. So hunt down one of the members. More preferably, who you're going to probably be looking for is somebody like Az here, CD Lord. I think those two. I think Forge might also be able to invite people, but everybody else that's pretty much on this list, I don't think has invite power. If they do, I don't think they want to deal with it. But CD Lord and Az probably could set you up with invites. You'll probably have to go through some kind of trial process and questions and answers, and just mention that you heard they were inviting on YouTube. That's all you probably need to do. But other than this, there's nothing else for the news really. I'll probably be making some more videos here soon. I might wait to get my video editing software license updated. That way I can actually edit videos. That's one of the biggest issues about working on videos, is that this video particularly, this is take 12. If I had the video editing software, I could just mash a couple takes together and be done. But yeah, it's YouTube stuff for you. But it's been fun, and I'll see you guys later.